50 meters below the surface of the Mediterranean, the breathing mixture flowing through an industrial diver's umbilical is not merely compressed gas, it is the absolute boundary between life and death. The evolution of the Sicily model for commercial diving safety, governed by Italy's Legislative Decree 81 of 2008 and Sicily's Regional Law 7 of 2016, dictates every single breath taken in that crushing darkness. At Molo Samuzzo, deep within the bustling port of Palermo, the dawn breaks over the concrete docks of the CEDIFOP training centre. Here the water laps against the steel hulls of moored vessels, and the air smells heavily of salt and diesel exhaust. A group of men and women stand in a tight circle on the quayside, clad in thick neoprene and high-visibility gear. They are not exchanging casual pleasantries. They are engaged in the daily toolbox talk. The supervisor's voice cuts through the morning chill, detailing marine currents, expected visibility, and the exact hyperbaric pressure they will endure. Every instruction delivered on this dock is a precise, legally binding fragment of a vast safety mechanism. The briefing is the physical manifestation of Articles 36 and 37 of Legislative Decree 81 of 2008. Across Italy, this decree is universally acknowledged as the Bible of workplace safety. It establishes a rigorous framework that demands thorough risk assessment and continuous worker training. Yet when applied to the hostile, alien environment beneath the waves, a generic risk assessment document simply shatters under the pressure. The ocean does not tolerate bureaucratic generalities.
Beneath the surface, the physical mechanics of survival dominate every action. As a diver descends to 50 meters, the pressure increases by 1 atmosphere for every 10 meters. The human body is squeezed, the blood chemistry alters, and the very air becomes thick and narcotic. To manage this extreme physiology, the commercial diver relies on a precise surface-supplied breathing apparatus. Air, or mixed gas, is pumped down an umbilical cord from the surface control panel. The diving supervisor, stationed above, monitors the flow rate, the gas mixture, and the diver's depth with hawkish intensity. The supervisor is not merely a manager. In the eyes of the law, they are the absolute legal guarantor of the dive team's lives. They hold the power to abort a dive at the slightest anomaly. The communication line crackles with the rhythmic sound of the diver's breathing. If the mixture deviates by even a fraction, the consequences are immediate and catastrophic. The technical precision required to operate this equipment cannot be gleaned from a textbook. It demands muscle memory forged through hundreds of hours of submerged practice.
This necessity for uncompromising, practical rigour birthed what the industry now calls the Sicily model. The island of Sicily, standing at the crossroads of the Mediterranean, took an unprecedented legislative step. The regional government recognised that the broad strokes of Decree 81 were insufficient to keep divers alive. Thus, they enacted Regional Law 07 of 2016. This legislation did something entirely unique. It bridged the gap between national Italian employment law and the stringent international protocols established by the International Diving Schools Association, or IDSA. Founded in 1982, IDSA developed the global consensus on what constitutes a safe, competent commercial diver. By integrating IDSA standards directly into regional law, the Sicily model transformed technical guidelines into immutable legal requirements. The decree dictates that theoretical knowledge is meaningless without actual logged bottom time. Consider the plight of a maritime construction firm rushing to repair a submerged pipeline. The project is behind schedule and the financial penalties are mounting. The employer looks for a quick fix, perhaps hiring divers who have completed short, expedited courses abroad. These courses offer the allure of reduced costs and rapid certification. The diver presents a shiny certificate, claiming competence.
But the sea is an unforgiving auditor. Under the rigid framework of the Sicily model, and specifically referenced by the decree of the President of the Sicilian Region 13 of 2018, that diver is legally unverified if they have not accumulated the exact bottom minutes prescribed by the IDSA tables. If the employer dispatches this diver into the depths and an accident occurs, the legal trap snaps shut. The principle of culpa in eligendo takes effect. This legal doctrine translates to fault in selection. The employer is held criminally and civilly responsible for failing to verify the minimum legal safety requirements of their personnel. The financial and legal ruin that follows is absolute. The insurance companies, upon discovering the violation of Article 38 of Legislative Decree 81, will immediately void all coverage. The company is left entirely exposed, facing catastrophic sanctions and the heavy burden of a lost life.
To prevent this nightmare scenario, the Sicily model introduced its most formidable operational tool, the telematic registry. Managed by the Sicilian Region's Department of Labour, this digital directory is the definitive gatekeeper of the commercial diving profession. It is not an abstract concept, it is a rigid binary system. A diver's name is either on the registry, proving they have met the brutal, exhaustive training requirements, or they are barred from working. For a maritime contractor, logging into this registry is the only objective method to verify a diver's legal suitability. The registry eliminates the shadows where fraudulent qualifications hide. It provides a transparent, verifiable lineage of a diver's competence, detailing their exact level of certification, from inshore scuba work to advanced offshore surface-supplied diving. Hiring outside of this list is a direct violation of the law. It shifts the burden of proof, ensuring that safety always prevails over the desperate rush for production. The legacy of the Sicily model extends far beyond the borders of Italy. It serves as a blueprint for how regional governments can enforce absolute safety standards in highly specialized, lethal professions. At CEDIFOP, students spend months mastering underwater welding, salvage operations, and emergency rescue techniques. They learn that their equipment is not just hardware, but their only lifeline to the surface. They are taught that safety is never a burdensome cost. It is an impenetrable steel investment that shields their lives and secures the operational serenity of their employers. The ultimate goal of every regulation, every toolbox talk, and every entry in the telematic registry boils down to one fundamental truth. The only successful dive is the one where every single worker breaks the surface, unclips their helmet, and goes home at the end of the day. If you found the details of this story compelling, please consider sharing it with someone who appreciates the hidden mechanics